In the final moments of power, titles disappear, armies fade, crowds go silent. History waits. What remains are words, sometimes defiant, sometimes tender, sometimes unfinished. Today, we look at the final recorded words of 6 of the most powerful leaders in world history and what they may reveal about the men behind the power. 44 BC, the Senate chamber in Rome. Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, dictator of Rome, stood surrounded by men he believed were allies. Then the blades appeared. He was stabbed 23 times. According to tradition, as he recognized one of the attackers, Brutus, he spoke the words later made famous, "Et tu, Brute?" You too, Brutus? Historians debate the exact phrasing. Some suggest he may have spoken Greek instead. Some believe he said nothing at all. But the phrase endured, not just because of betrayal, but because it captured a universal fear. Not the enemy at the gates, but the friend at your side. Rome would never be the same. April 14, 1865. Ford's Theater, Washington. The American Civil War had just ended. The Union was preserved. Abraham Lincoln sat beside his wife, watching a play. A shot rang out. Moments earlier, Mary Lincoln had taken his hand, concerned about how it might look in public. Lincoln gently replied, "She won't think anything about it." They were his last recorded words. Within hours, he was gone. The man who held a divided nation together did not die in a war room, but in a theater balcony. And the country he preserved entered a new and uncertain chapter. January 1965. Winston Churchill had already lived through history, 2 world wars, the rise and fall of empires, and Britain's darkest hour. The voice that once rallied a nation had grown quiet. After suffering a stroke, he lingered for days. Reportedly, his final words were simple: "I'm bored with it all." No grand speech, no final rallying cry, just exhaustion. For a man who had defied tyranny with language as his weapon, his ending was strangely human. Even giants grow tired. Exiled on the remote island of St. Helena, far from France, Napoleon Bonaparte's empire had collapsed. The emperor who once commanded Europe now commanded only memories. As he drifted in and out of consciousness, witnesses recorded fragments. France, the army, head of the army. Josephine, the name of his first wife. His final thoughts appeared to return to what had defined him: nation, power, love. Even in defeat, his mind wandered back to glory. November 22, 1963. Dallas, Texas. Crowds lined the streets. The presidential motorcade moved slowly. Texas Governor John Connolly's wife turned and said, "Mr. President, you certainly can't say Dallas doesn't love you." Kennedy smiled. "No, you certainly can't." Seconds later, gunfire. Those were his last recorded words. His assassination shocked the world. Investigations followed. Questions lingered for decades. But in that final exchange, there was no suspicion, no warning, just a public moment, frozen in time. January 30th, 1948. New Delhi. Mahatma Gandhi walked toward a prayer meeting. He had led India's independence movement through non-violence. He carried no weapon, no guards. As shots were fired, witnesses reported he uttered, "Hey Ram, O God." Short, soft, spiritual. Some debate remains about whether the words were clearly spoken. But the phrase became symbolic. A man who preached peace met violence without resistance. And his final words, real or remembered, echoed faith. In the end, power fades. Empires collapse. Crowds disappear. But last words remain. A final sentence, sometimes louder than a lifetime of speeches. If you enjoyed this journey through history, there's more waiting for you. Please like the video, and also do not forget to subscribe to the channel. And join us as we uncover more stories that time almost forgot.